All right. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's class. As you guys know, my name is Leroy Phillips, and I will be your presenter. This evening, we will be doing some pattern searching. Okay, so we'll be basically just scanning our charts, looking for different patterns, seeing what we can find. Okay, now in the chat box, let me know what pair you'd like me to take a look at and give me an idea what types of patterns you are familiar with. It doesn't matter if it's advanced patterns. We just won't do harmonic patterns, okay? We won't do harmonic patterns this evening. We're just going to do chart patterns that we can visibly see, not anything that we need to measure, just patterns that we can detect with the eyes, okay? So we're talking about head and shoulders, we're talking about flags, we're talking about flat patterns, we're talking about triangles, we're talking about wedges, we're talking about various patterns. Whatever pattern you can think about, just let me know. What do you guys have? What pairs would you like me to look at? Not seeing any comments. I see we have Ronald joining us as well. Welcome, Ronald. Okay, Grace says EJ. So let's go Euro JPY. Okay, where is EJ? Oh, there it is. All right, so we're on Euro JPY. I see Mark says XAU. Okay, we'll get to that. So Euro JPY. Can someone tell me if they see a pattern right now on the piece of data that we're looking at? Do you see anything here that looks like a pattern? Do you see anything here at all that looks like a pattern? If you see a pattern, tell me what you see. All right, I see Mark says double top or double bottom, triple top. Okay, so if Mark says he sees a triple top, I will say that Mark is talking about this and this and this. Am I correct, Mark? Mark says yes. Great. Now, so this would also fall with a double top. This could be double top here, like that, or it can be double top like this. Right, Mark? These are what you look at as double tops and triple tops. Mark says yes. Okay, now with Mark looking at things in that way, now these are more simple chart patterns. These are more like very old patterns, but this is how I would look at the market. I would look at, if I'm looking at the areas that Mark is talking about, I would look at it like this. This would be a flat, right? So this would be my flat pattern. I got an impulse. I got 1, 2, 3. I got another impulse. So as you can see here, impulse, 1, 2, 3, impulse. And this makes a flat pattern formation, right? So then this wave would need to repeat itself over here, as you can see. Now, this would make a 3-wave pattern as well. I can look at this and I can say this is potentially A, which would be A, and this would be B, and this would be my C wave. Okay, so this is A, B, C, right? So we've already identified 2 patterns to create 1. Now, If we're going to look at that, if I'm going to look at this area here, I could look at this. Let me use a trend line. Right? So you'd look at that as a triple top, and I would look at this in this manner. Right? Can someone tell me what pattern you think this is? What pattern do you think this is? Someone tell me. I see we have a few more people coming in. We have Craig. Welcome, Craig. Let's see who else. We have Kevin. Welcome, Kevin. Ronald, welcome. All right, so no one knows what this pattern is. This pattern right here that I just outlined with red lines. Welcome, welcome, Craig. No one knows what this pattern is. Just give it a try. Someone let me know. Just give it a try. Just tell me what you think. No answer will be looked at as a wrong answer. Everything is learning. Okay. So we have Grace saying descending wedge. Mark says descending wedge. And this is indeed a wedge pattern, right? If you're going to look at this using simple chart patterns, this would be a wedge pattern formation, right? So while everyone is looking at this as a wedge pattern formation, I'll be looking at this in a different way, right? So I'll be looking at this like this. I'll say we got an impulse down. So that's my wave one. I would look at this. Oops. I'll use my brush. I would look at that. I'll say this is potentially a flat formation. We have one impulse up, correction, impulse up, right? So this would be potentially a flat inside here. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, not a flat, a three-wave move. 1, 2, 3. We could look at it as a flat. We could look at it as a regular flat formation where the third wave does not break the high, right? We also have this formation here where it does not break the low, okay? The B wave does not break the low. So this could be a regular flat formation. So this would be my wave one, my wave two, wave three, wave four, wave five. See how this created a 5-wave impulse? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my 5-wave impulse. Okay? Now, with us getting a 5-wave impulse, can someone tell me what's the next pattern that we're looking at? Give it a try. Tell me what you see, tell me what you think. Just look at this area. Tell me what you think this is. Tammy says correction. Yeah, we could look at that and say that it's a correction. I can accept that. Who else? Anyone else? Does anyone else have an opinion on this pattern or this type of price action? All right, so let's look at it. I would look at this and I would say, oops, I'll draw some lines instead. My hand is a bit crooked with the brush. Good. So I'll look at this. I'll say this is my low. So this is my low, and we made 1, 2, 3 up. We came back and retested the low. All right. So with me getting that, I can say this is 1, 2, 3. This is one wave. Or we can say this is WXY. And this, I can look at this and say this is an X wave because we already had 5 waves. So this would be an X wave, right? So we have X. So we have WXY, X, and this is going to be my Z wave, right? So if this is going to be a correction, this is most likely a WXYXZ formation, right? So we have, oops, we have an impulse up. I'm going to use my brush again. Impulse up. This is 1, 2, 3, potentially, or this could be more like this. 1, 2, 3, right? So we have 3 waves up. So this one would have to come back. So I'll expect this one to come back in this area. So once that comes back like that, we will have a running flat formation like this. And if we have this as a running flat formation, I'm going to expect one more up like that. So we get one more up. So this will make 3 waves. And if this is going to be W, X, Y, X, and Z, this Z wave could actually be 5 waves. So it could come in 5 waves and make one more up, maybe even retest the top. Okay, so it could do that. Or it could make 3 and come down, because the Z wave can be any pattern. Okay, it can be any corrective formation. Okay, so we got to pay close attention to this Z wave to see what it evolves into. Okay, so this is the pattern I'm looking at. Let's go back here some more. What are we looking at? This wave. I can look at this already and I can see that we have a W, X, Y. So we have a 3-wave move here, right? We have impulse over here. Another impulse came here. So this is 1, 2, 3. So I would look at this and say this is potentially 1, this is 2, this is 3. So this could be, if this is wave 3, we look at wave 3 as 1, then you go 2, then you go 3, and this one would come back and cross into the price area of wave 1. So we know this is most likely not 1, 2, 3. It is something different, because remember, wave 4 should not cross into the price area of wave 1. Okay, so if we take that off, this is most likely going to be something that looks like, let me see here, this would be 1 wave down, and this would be 1, 2, 3 up, and then we get another wave down, right? So this would be a correction. So this would be my corrective formation. So I have 1, 2, this is 3. As you can see, this goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a 5-wave move, right? So we have 1, 2, 3. So we have a 3-wave move to the upside, and then the price falls. So this is 1, 2, 3. Let's see, W, X, Y, X, Z. So this could be another W, X, Y, X, and Z wave formation, right? So this is another complex corrective style wave pattern. Let's see here. What else do we have? Let's see. Can all of this be one pattern formation? Let us see what the possibilities are. Let us see if we can use some trend lines to show us some magic. Right, so these trend lines gave us, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, so these trend lines gave us what looks like a complex pattern formation. This one, let's see, W, X, Y, X, and this is a Z wave right here, right? So this shows us that this is a big complex formation where this is W, X, this is Y, this is, oops, this is the one I wanted. So we have W, X, Y, this is X, and this is Z, right? So we have a Z wave. So this is one big correction. So what we're going to expect next is this wave. We're going to expect this wave to come back like this. Now, since you can see here that this is already showing us that it's a corrective formation, we can expect if this one makes this distance, it is going to fall. Right? So if we look at price, we can see that price is coming down and this is building a bigger corrective formation. Right? And once it's built a bigger corrective formation, we will make another move to the downside, retesting this low or breaking the low. Okay? All right, so XAU. XAU. So gold. So what are we looking at on gold? We can look at gold on the 4-hour time frame. It makes it cleaner. Just look at this price action and look at when I go to a higher time frame. It becomes cleaner, right? So with it becoming cleaner, it gives you a better opportunity to see what the patterns are. Okay, so you get a better chance to see what the patterns are. So here on the weekly time frame, we can already look at this and see that this is potentially giving us a corrective move down. This is potentially an impulse move up. We have another impulse down, so most likely this is going to come and give us something that looks like this. Impulse, correction, retest of this low, get another impulse up. We get one more corrective wave down like this. So this is going to be a big corrective move, potentially like that. Okay, so we're going to be looking for a big corrective type formation. Right, so pay attention to this, okay? You got impulse up, impulse down, correction, impulse down, impulse up, corrective impulse down, and then we go up again. Okay, so pay attention to that. So this is potentially going to be a flat formation in here, and you're going to get another wave like this coming over here, and then you're going to push back to the upside. So this is potentially what I see as of now. Okay, this can change because price action is alive, it can evolve, right? So if this were to change, it could change and look something like this. This one goes like this, it goes flat, then it makes one more up. So this becomes, let me just clean this up. This becomes 1, 2, 3. You get another wave down like that, another wave up like this, another wave down like that, making this a bigger flat formation like this. And then we still take off to the upside. So whatever price is doing, it's building a formation for upside. Okay, that is most likely what we're going to see. A formation constructed for upside. All right. Let us see here. Any other pairs you guys would like me to take a look at? Is there any particular pattern that you'd like me to take a look for? Triangles are very rare, so they're a bit hard to find. Okay, Tammy says GU. Let's look at GU. Let's see what it looks like. All right. So we're looking at, let's, okay, I have some markups on this one already. I'll take it off. Let me just clear these. I'll go back to the daily because it looks much cleaner on the daily. So this is what we're looking at, right? On the daily. This is a corrective move up, but in this case, it serves as a corrective impulse wave. This is a three-wave correction to the downside, and I will show you why this is. Simply because we have this wave coming down here, and this was supposed to be a flat for upside like that, but it extended to the downside, building the corrective wave to the downside, right? So this became a AB base, right? So got A, B, and this is base, where it comes down aggressively, okay? And then over here we have a corrective move, right? So we have one up, correction, one up, and we get the next impulse down, right? Making this 1, 2, 3, either an ABC move or AB equal CD move, okay? This wave is now repeating itself over here, right? Now, if this is a flat pattern formation, we know that in the third wave of the flat, it is sometimes a 3-wave move or a 5-wave move, right? And this one is looking a bit on the ticklish side, right? So it's looking a bit complex. Oops. Let's try to look at it a little deeper. All right. So if I'm going to look at this, I'm going to probably say this is, let me see here. All right. I'm going to probably look at this and say we got correction, right? So we got 1, 2, 3. So that's my correction. Okay. We got impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we have an impulse wave. Okay. So this is now 1. We got 2. We got 3. And this is potentially building 4, right? 4 like that, because this is coming like this. 1, 2, 3. So this is potentially building 4 inside here, right? So if this is our 4th wave, this could potentially be our 5th wave, potentially be our 5th wave. Okay, it is possible that that's what it is. And then we start coming to the downside. Okay, now, if this is not our 5th wave, we could be looking at this in a slightly different manner, where we have price retesting the high, we have price retesting the low, and we have price pulsing back to the upside. Okay, making this a flat pattern formation for upside. Okay, and if we're going to get more upside, then this would become a lot more complicated, because if this is going to be considered to be a corrective wave cycle, it may actually mean that it's maybe not a complete wave cycle. And if it's not a complete wave cycle, then this wave could be repeating itself. And if that wave is repeating itself, then that's going to be a very big move to the upside, right? If this wave is repeating itself. And if that wave is repeating itself, then we're going to have to get a repeat of this one to complete the formation, right? And after we repeat that one, we're going to have to get the final wave to the upside, which will most likely be wave 1, right? This measurement, like this, right? So we'd most likely break out. So this is most likely going to become an expanded flat formation. How many of you are familiar with the expanded flat formation? Anyone familiar with the expanded flat formation? Mark says, I am. Tammy says, I'm not. Okay, okay. All right, so pick another pair. Let me know what other pairs you guys would like me to take a look at. Okay, I see Kevin says Euro USD. Let us go here. Okay, this one I have some markups on here as well. Let's just try a different data feed. Okay, so we have Euro USD, as everyone can see. This one, we're right now on the daily. It is very complex. And if you look at it carefully on the daily, you will see, okay, this is where it made impulse down, big correction, and we start coming down again, right? So this could possibly be 1, 2, 3, and we are currently in our wave 4, right? So this could be our wave 4. Now, if this is our wave 4, oops, wrong line. If this is going to be our wave 4, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3, right? So this would be our third wave here. And as you can see, this third wave is still evolving. So this could become a 5-wave move, or it could remain a 3-wave move. Okay. Another nice way to be able to gauge this wave is to use market geometry. And we're looking at from the low to the high of the first wave in the third wave, and you project this over, right? So we could make one more big move up and then we could fall, right? So we can get some more strength out of the euro and then we fall, strengthening the US dollar pair, the US dollar. Okay, so over here, this could be looked at as a flat formation, potentially. If it goes 1, 2, 3, this is an X, 1, 2, 3, then we could get one more up like this. And once we get that, the move up could be done and we could be seeing the lows again. All right. Any other pair? I see we have Gary saying GA. Let's take a look at GA. All right, so Gary says GA, and we're looking, oops. All right, so I'm looking at GA, and I can see that we have a strong move down. So whatever we're getting here is all gonna be correction. So we have strong move down. Just trying to see what I'm looking at here. All right, so this could potentially be our first impulse down. So we have impulse, we have correction, and then we have a 5-wave move down. So this is now 1, 2, 3. And we have this happening at the moment. These big corrective type moves. And if we're going to be looking at this type of move, let's see here. This could potentially be the end of the move down. Yeah, this could be the end of the move down, because if it came down in a wave that looks like this, if this is 1 and this is 2, And this is 3. Let's see here. This is 5 here. This might potentially be 3 over here. Right, so you get W, X, Y, X, Z, and we fall. So this is all a big corrective formation. Right, if you look at it carefully, you can see by just looking at the highs. And look at the lows. You can see that price basically was just dancing around that area, right? So this is potentially a 4th wave, because as you can see, when wave 2 is simple, wave 4 is going to be complex. Okay, so this wave is complete, and now we're looking at the correction. And if you're looking at the correction, this is our low, and this is our high. Right? So if this is our low and this is our high, price came back, retested the low, bounced off it, give us this double bottom, and continues to rise. So since the price is moving back to the upside, and since it did give us this double bottom, we know that it is most likely corrective. It will be coming back to the downside. So we need to watch this wave, see how it evolves. Let me just remove these. Good. So we need to watch this wave, analyze it well, and see how it evolves, right? So I'm watching this wave, and I'm looking at this here as my W, X, and this is my Y wave. This wave could be an extended wave. It already came and broke the high, so most likely it's going to be in 5 waves. Let us see here. Just the 3rd wave. So we got 1, 2, then we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so all of this is actually a correction. Let me just do this over again. All of this is actually a correction. So this is 1. Let me get 1, 2, 3. Good. And that is the correction right there. Now, if this is our correction, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you go down 1, 2, 3, right? Or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is a flat right inside here. You know, the flat is 3, 3, 5, right? So this is a flat pattern inside here, a big one. And then you go for wave 3. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is wave 3. Now you're looking for wave 4 and wave 5 to complete this move. Generally, we know that wave 5 and wave 1 share a relationship. So we can see potentially if wave 5 is going to be this length. Right? So we're going to expect a pullback, a bigger correction, and one more move up before we come back to the downside. Okay? Especially since we have this double bottom over here. It is a signal that the market is bearish longer term. Okay? So even if it pulls back now, it's just going to be a correction. It will be expected to come back in the future. Okay? And this move is already over. Well, pretty close to being over. We're just missing one more bigger correction and one more impulse up before it falls. Okay, so pay attention to that. All right. Any other patterns you'd like me to look at, guys? Is there anything else that you're not too clear on? Is there any pattern you would like to take a look at specifically? Is there anything about any of these patterns that you're not clear on? Is there anything that you would like me to clarify? All right. Okay. No questions? Okay. Well, this will bring us to the end of this evening's class. Um, Remember, come to our next class. You could bring any questions you have. You can bring some screenshots. Just come with your questions readily available. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions for you, send you off in the right direction. Please bring your questions. If you'd like to take some screenshots, that will be helpful as well. Take some screenshots, bring your screenshots of any patterns or anything at all that you'd like to ask questions on, and we can review it on our next class as well. Okay? So thank you much, guys. You have yourselves a wonderful evening. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye for now. You're most welcome, Tammy. You're most welcome, Gary. You're most welcome, Mark. You're most welcome, Kelvin. Most welcome, Kevin. Most welcome, Takesha. All right. Well, you guys have yourselves a wonderful evening. Thank you to everyone else who's here as well. Thank you so much for coming. And remember, next time, bring your questions. Come ready for me. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Okay? Thank you, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. Bye-bye for now.